So many times when I meet companies and HR professionals, they ask me how should they be treating people. I'll I'll talk about a bit of philosophy to make you understand this concept. See, in Vedic philosophy, it is believed that you travel as a soul across bodies. So as a soul, you are subjected to birth and rebirth. Why are you traveling from one body to the other is essentially defined in terms of the lessons that you need to learn. These lessons are often played out in terms of patterns in your life. And the best ways to learn these lessons are through relationships. And that's how God has planned everything. So when you interact with people, there are certain karmic residues that are carried forward. It could take you births to learn this lesson. So you need to understand that as a soul, when you're interacting with other people, as an individual, when you're interacting with other individuals, there is a certain karmic residue that you're creating, and that needs to be balanced out. People tend to travel in soul groups. So when you're doing a people management strategy, when you're in a situation where you're stuck with difficult bosses or difficult, subordinates or peers, or there is a situation, it's absolutely tailor-made for you to learn that lesson. How it plays out is that if you notice, if you're having trouble at work, if you're having trouble with people around you, you notice around the same time you will be having trouble at your home as well. You could also maybe suffer through certain health ailments. So multiple problems tend to come to your life at the same time. And this lesson that you need to learn, but the moment you learn this lesson, the moment you are able to deal with that situation, there is grace and you move on to the next level. So your lessons are often played out through these lessons which are presented to you in terms of relationships. So what is the way you need to deal with these relationships? The best way to deal with people is to deal with love. Love and tolerance. Moment you exercise this principle of love and tolerance when you're in your interpersonal relationships, when you're dealing with people, you'll realize that there is a lot of grace that happens to you. There's a lot of clearing the way that happens for you. Many of your hurdles are surmounted much more easily, and you're moving on and progressing much more faster than you ever did. So this is very, very important and a subtle lesson that we need to learn as a soul. In fact, the importance of relationship is also something that is scientifically proven. There is a very interesting study by Dunbar. Robin Dunbar, he's an anthropologist, and he extrapolates the sizes of brains of primates, and he also compares it with people. And he realizes, and he extrapolates and says that the size of the brain of human is actually is correlated to the number of relationship a human being can handle. And the number that he arrives at is 150. And interestingly enough, this is a number that rings through across various other cultures as well, who had realized and they had built their communities around this number of 150. This is something that, through trial and error, a company in America also realized called Gore Associates. What they did is, moment their companies crossed 150, they created another unit. So they created infrastructure to handle for a unit only 150 people. So they create enough bays or enough parking places to accommodate only 150 people. They realized at moment this number increased from 150, there were disturbances. There were a lot of trust tax. There was a lack of trust. There were a lot of problems, interpersonal issues, which sort of held them back from progressing. So relationships are very important, and we need to treat people with love, because this is part of the lesson. This is part of what we have come to this earth to learn. So infuse love in your dealing with people, and you will always come out victorious.